Hey there, everybody. This is Mark again with lesson number 2 on learning the open keyed flute. Sometimes I just call it the Irish flute. However, there are a lot of open keyed flutes that are not the low D Irish. I've got several of them here, as I showed you in the first lesson. But we're going to be primarily using and focusing on the low D. Now, as I said, this is one of the flutes that I make, and we do sell a lot of low Ds. In fact, this morning I just shipped a low D to California and to Illinois. So I really enjoy getting these in the hands of people, made from PVC and go anywhere, and they sound good. At least I think they do. Okay, so in the first lesson we talked about just getting a tone, holding it up to your mouth, relaxed grin, spitting that hair off the tip of your tongue. Now, hopefully, if you tried that, you're sick of it, because nobody wants to just sit there all day going, right? We want to be able to play it. But in order to be able to play songs, we need to be able to accurately cover the holes and play. If you've never played an open-keyed flute before, it is a bit of a challenge. Because, for example, if you play the clarinet or the saxophone or the or a regular concert flute, and it uses all of those, keys and everything, your hand doesn't have to be precisely on any given key, because the pad that is controlled by that key will close the sound hole completely without any worry about it. When you play an open-keyed flute, what that means is your finger pads are the ones that have to cover it. And if they don't cover it completely, it changes the sound. For example, here with my middle finger on this second to the bottom note, if it is closed completely, I get that sound. If it's slightly off, there's no sound at all. And if I've got all of them closed except that one and it's slightly off, no sound, or a horrible whistling sound. And it can get incredibly frustrating. You can be saying, man, I'm trying to get the sound when I hold it up here. I get the sound, but when I close all the holes, something must be wrong with the flute. No, you just need to make sure that each of your fingers is covering the hole completely. One of the things that helps with that is do not curl your fingers. Do not use the end of your fingers to cover the hole. Use the pads of your fingers to cover the hole. So the pads of your fingers cover the holes and provide a good seal so that you can get a good sound. Now, on a we'll talk about some of the finger challenges on a low D here, maybe a little while or in another lesson. So you're ready to start playing. You've been able to get the sound. Now you want to be able to play a song. Start with covering all 6 of the finger holes, or if you have something with a finger hole in the back, cover that. But assuming you're using a low D flute, start with covering all 6 of the finger holes. Hold the flute up to your mouth and try to get a sound. Now, a mistake that beginners will make is by blowing too hard. If you blow too hard, you'll actually be starting in the second octave. Just by changing the breath volume, I can go from the first to the second octave. Okay, so I designed these flutes, and most open-keyed flutes are designed not to require a tremendous amount of breath, pressure, the speed coming out and the pressure coming out of your mouth to get a sound in any octave, but specifically in the low end. So think blowing easy. Again, coming up from your diaphragm, an open throat, and letting the air cross. Okay? If you can get that low sound, just practice that. Practice taking all of your fingers off the flute, then putting them back on the flute, bringing the flute to your mouth, and getting the sound. Now, holding the flute can help with that. One of the things you want to do is you don't want to keep your elbows in and try to play that way. I guess you can. It's just really uncomfortable. You want to be relaxed. Your shoulders need to be relaxed. The flute needs to come to your head, not your head to the flute. Okay, so your head's not coming to the flute. Your head stays pretty much up, and the flute comes to your head. So your neck is in line, your shoulders are relaxed, and your right elbow can be slightly out, but just kind of at an angle down. Your left elbow creates a circle of pressure right here, which helps to keep the flute against your lips and keeps your shoulder from getting tired. So your left elbow is not out, it's down closer to your body, creating that circle of pressure. So there's pressure on this index finger against the flute, and then that pressure extends down my arm and up and around in an imaginary circle. So we hold it and we get the tone. Now, once we can do that, we go up to the next note. Now, something I've seen beginners do is, and it's no big deal because that's what I did when I was a beginner as well, is as you go up the flute, the tone raising psychologically makes you feel like you should have to blow harder to get those higher notes. Again, with our flutes and with most open keyed flutes that I have played, it doesn't require a greater breath pressure. The pressure should remain even in that first octave. So it's not all right, it's going to get breathier, it's going to get harder, you're going to slip into that second octave, and it's going to be, so just a constant pressure. So start with the bottom 3 holes and work up and then back down. Now, not just to get a good sound, but to make sure that your fingers are learning how to cover the holes again completely, because sometimes you'll go up, but when you land, you won't land directly on the hole again. So that's practice. It's muscle memory, practicing going up and down until you can go all the way up the scale and all the way down the scale, covering the holes each time. And the first time you try, that's going to take a while. Don't get frustrated. Don't get all upset because your fingers don't cover all the holes completely. Find the position of your hands that's comfortable for you. Use the pads of your fingers, not the tips of your fingers, and work on one hole at a time, slowly working your way up and working your way back down. And before you know it, you'll be able to play from the bass note all the way up the first octave and all the way back down again. And you'll be well on your way to getting ready to play that first song. So what have we learned? One is to hold the flute in a relaxed manner, bringing the flute to your head, not your head to the flute. Secondly, circle of pressure, right? Circle of pressure right here. Thirdly, even breath pressure throughout the first octave. Not blowing too hard. A nice, soft, controlled breath. And then work your way slowly up and down the holes until you can do it consistently, covering each hole each time without those additional mistakes. Don't go too fast. Play slow. It's not going to take you long. You're making great progress. If you need any help, ask questions in the comment or send me a message, mark@mywhistleandflute.com, and I'll be glad to help you any way that I possibly can. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy playing your open keyed flute.